那现在呢，我们就在黛博拉庄园的，这是一个温室的一个干燥间里面。那刚刚我们看了一些日晒的批次，比如说有大家熟悉的像西洋啊、涅槃啊这一些非常好的日晒批次。那现在我们站在这里呢，就是我个人非常喜欢的一个批次——光亮 （illumination）。然后庄园主 Jamison 他也会给大家做一些介绍。Jamison, can you say hi to our followers in China?
Hello everyone in China. It's great to be with you. Thank you for making this trip to Panama. Once again, we've missed you guys. It's been a while.
Yes.
So it's a pleasure to have you. And today, one of the coffees that we'll discuss is illumination. And illumination is Finca Deborah washed carbonic macerated geisha. And this coffee starts out very ripe on the trees. We harvest this coffee and then we wet mill this coffee.
Oh.
And then we deposit this coffee inside a tank and we apply CO2 or carbon dioxide for an extended period of time to help ferment the remaining fruit on the grain. Then we'll remove this coffee from the tank and rinse this coffee and make sure it's very, very clean. At which point we put it on our beds, our African drying beds, and it will stay on the African beds for at least 10 days, typically 12 to 15 days, and we will slow dry this coffee in the shade. We always start our washed coffees on the second level of our African drying bed system. So I think this has been on the beds just for a little bit. It's the 6th, so today's the 9th. One of the very important factors about drying coffee generally is the slow drying process and the temperature and the airflow.
Okay.
We want to control all of these things. With regard to temperature, we like the temperature to stay between 40 to 45 degrees and no more.
Okay.
With the airflow, we like to have a nice cool breeze that comes through to help remove some of the heated air. And also the agitation with the coffee. We are frequently agitating the coffee.
Yes.
We want to maintain that consistency in the drying pattern, and that will also help with the water activity reading. And our coffees have been known to stay on the shelf green for quite some time and still maintain their integrity. So as you can see, this is the second level of the drying bed system.
Yeah.
And we do not want the parchment, which is that thin layer of almost like paper, on the exterior of the green grain. So to give you an example, we can just kind of peel off this small layer.
Yes.
We want that layer to stay intact on that green grain. And the reason for that is that the ultraviolet light, as well as the oxygen, can degrade the green coffee.
Yes. Just a quick question regarding the airflow. So in this greenhouse, do you have a fan or what kind of system do you use to to make sure the air circulation is good enough for the drying?
We simply open the doors and the windows.
Yes.
So we have a consistent breeze here on the mountain. And you can see that we do have an inlet here.
Yes.
And when we open the front door or other windows, we can get an even more strong breeze that will very quickly cool the dry house down.
Okay.
So those temperatures are very important to maintain. Agitating the coffee is very important with regard to quality control. But with our washed coffees, again, we like to dry them in the shade slowly to prevent the cracking of that parchment. So let's talk about the process and how we dry coffee here at Deborah.
Yep.
We have a 3 and even a 4-stage processing system that I developed a while ago. It's a modular system.
Yeah.
So we can actually take it apart and remove it, fix it, do what we need to do with it. But it's very, very important in this system in how we dry our coffees. So we start our naturals at the top. All of the naturals begin at the top.
Yes.
And superficially dried for approximately 5 days, depending on the climate.
Yes.
At which point we bring them down to the second level to slow dry these coffees. So in essence, the vast majority of the coffee is actually dried in a shaded environment.
So you will measure the moisture.
Right.
Like after, let's say, 4 days, and then which like percentage of moisture?
Well, we don't
here?
we don't have to measure the percentage. It's a visual or optical more than anything from the top to the second.
Yeah.
And so when we bring it down to the second level, the coffee will spend approximately 12 to 15 days here. And we will sometimes even go to the third level, depending on the production levels. But what we're really shooting for is the majority of the life cycle of the grain or the coffee drying in the shaded condition.
Yes.
And I do that because I want to slow down the drying process so that we have an equal drying pattern inside the grain.
Yes.
And that's very important.
Yeah.
I learned early on that a slow dried coffee, whether it's a natural or a washed, is really the best. So you also have a better water activity reading. So the coffee will last much longer.
And have a better shelf life.
Correct. And that's very important, obviously. So we're monitoring the coffees constantly. The coffees are stirred or agitated frequently.
Yes.
To maintain that drying pattern.
Yeah, it's even. We
have, this is actually Afterglow, natural, classic natural. Over here we've got Nirvana, as we were discussing. We have, this is an experimental here on top. We haven't named this coffee yet, but it is a natural. And it's only been up there for a couple of days. Been up there for about 3 days. So this coffee is very fresh.
Yeah. So this one, it's can you review a little bit details of the?
Yes, so this is an extended anaerobic.
Okay.
We do use nitrogen in this process.
Oh, nitrogen.
Yeah, to macerate the coffee. This will be a very interesting coffee. This is for a client actually in the Middle East.
Oh.
So Middle Eastern palate is more oriented towards a fermentation.
Yes.
But as you are well aware, Finca Deborah, variety and terroir are most important for us. So we never exceed the boundaries of variety and terroir when it comes to our processing. So this will be an interesting coffee, and and this is going to go to a competitor. Yeah.
So for brewer or barista?
Brewer. Yeah, we found, at least for now, and as we were discussing, the industry is beginning to move more towards a cleaner, washed-oriented coffee.
Yeah.
But this is for brewers, and there still is a heavy preference towards fermented coffees.
Yes.
So that's what this coffee is for. So we start at that top level. This coffee probably today will go to the second bed below us.
Yeah.
We've superficially dried this coffee to remove any opportunity for a mold bloom.
Yeah.
And again, we want this coffee to dry the majority of its time in the shade.
Yes.
So we will move this coffee to a lower level. And Nirvana is a natural nitrogen macerated geisha.
So you have carbonic maceration and nitrogen. So because these two different kind of
inert gases
will have different influence towards the cup profile.
Yes.
Like what are the differences?
The primary reason why as a producer I use nitrogen is because I found that the CO2 actually is very invasive. And what I mean by that is that it macerates the coffee very, very quickly, but it also affects the integrity of the coffee.
Oh yeah.
And I found that while we are dry milling this coffee with CO2, it's more brittle.
Oh really?
It breaks a bit more in the machine. Now with the nitrogen, it's less invasive, physical processing of the coffee.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. So typically, we just get up here like this, and we stir this coffee, we mix this coffee by hand. Everything is done by hand. And we want to agitate this coffee, particularly in its current state, because this is a very wet state. And what can happen if the coffee isn't agitated frequently, especially if there isn't a lot of sun, the coffee can break out in a mold bloom. And if that happens, the coffee is ruined. So Ellen, during this time of year, which is the fruiting period, we are harvesting, obviously, But the tree is doing several things that require an enormous amount of energy. Right now, as you can see, the coffee is beginning to ripen. So you have some red cherries, some yellow cherries, some, obviously some green cherries. But you're also seeing 2024 harvest.
Oh yeah.
So these flowers, or these buds, will soon be flowers. So you can already see that the tree is expending a tremendous amount of energy. It's trying to ripen up the fruit.
Yeah.
It's preparing flowering, and of course, it's trying to survive. So during this period, it's challenging time for the tree. And what we're waiting for right now is a little bit of rain to stimulate the tree hormonally to say, okay, it's time to flower. And that will probably be in the next 2 weeks, week to 2 weeks. But what makes this interesting for our pickers is that they have to be aware of these buds.
Yes, they need to.
Because they can damage those buds while they're picking the coffee.
Yeah.
And if they damage the bud, then it won't produce
next crop
for the next year. So while we're harvesting the tree, which is all done by hand, we have no mechanical harvesters, not yet anyway. Who knows, maybe in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But we have to pass by each tree at least 5 times.
Oh, 5 times.
Because the fruit does not ripen up congruently or evenly.
True. Yeah.
So we will pass by these trees many, many times during the harvest cycle. So it's extremely labor intensive. Obviously, from a psychological standpoint, picking coffee for 5 hours, 6 hours straight puts a lot of, so our harvesters, our pickers are trained to be very careful, not only with the tree, but with harvest selection.
Okay, and I have a question regarding, which is the right color for the cherry,
Sure.
to pick, because there's some are dark red, like winey, like wine, and some are like just red.
Yes.
And like, which ones are the right color for you?
So I picked a couple of cherries, and this is what we would like. This color right here. We like a very dark purple, almost burgundy.
Oh, burgundy,
color.
Yeah, that's the word.
And what we found is that a Brix reading of around 21 to 22.
Oh, that's good, 21, 22.
Right. And so in looking at these cherries, we would be within that range. And even still, these aren't perfectly ripe, because if you look where I just picked these cherries, we still have a little bit of yellow, a little bit of green.
Yeah.
This coffee could actually stay on the tree for probably another week. It looks ripe, but it is not. But all of this coffee could stay on the tree probably for another week. So you can taste the cherry.
Yeah.
Give it a pinch, and you can taste the fruit.
Yeah, it's very papaya-like.
Beautiful, huh?
Yeah,
Mango
sweet.
papaya, very tropical.
Yeah, it is. 那我们现在呢，站在的就是黛博拉庄园的一个非常中心的位置。然后这个区域庄园主呢，刚刚介绍，其实哪怕是非常近距离的不同的土壤、不同的遮阴条件，有的区域咖啡树可以很顺利健康的成长，而有的呢，只能是可能长了4、5年，还只是一个非常小的植株或者是个幼苗。那我们也请庄园主给我们多介绍一些。Hey Jameson, can you tell us a bit more?
So Finca Deborah was started in really 2008, but we planted for the first time in 2010.
Oh.
And when I started this farm, it was very important for us to respect the ecology.
Yes.
So as you can see behind us, this is a perfect snapshot of what Finca Deborah is about.
It is.
If you look at these beautiful indigenous shade trees, beneficial trees we refer to them, in their natural state with our coffee below them, this is a good representation of what we do here at Finca Deborah.